last we left off, you guys were making some final preparations to to visit the Shadowfell in search of the next thing on the Hag's grocery list, um, which would be a feather from an undead phoenix's wing. You did some shopping, went on some dates, got your house robbed. All the usual things. Speaking of the house being robbed, Hawk ran into an old friend, more or less, of Rosania, who had apparently broken into the house to take what she felt was owed to her guild by the children that you guys have taken under your wing. She agreed to meet with you guys, largely due to the fact that she was already considering her own escape from the guild. Wanted to see what you guys had to offer. From there, you chatted with her, came up with a plan and discussion, gave her a little more gold so that she could bribe the correct people to forget about the children. And from there, you all teleported to the city of Avatik in order to really get the supplies that you're looking for, as well as hopefully be a little closer to where you're hoping to land in the Shadowfell. And on that note, I had asked Kenzie to roll some percentile dice to see how on target you guys are, but she didn't. So
I have her results. She rolled before she lost connection.
Cool.
So she rolled a 72, a 36, and an 87.
Okay. All right, let's see. I'll just take the average of that. I only asked for one roll, but whatever. 72, 36, and 87.
Yeah, I mean, we could just go with 72 if there was only one roll. Okay. She just gave me 3 numbers.
That is confusing, but whatever.
Thanks, Kenzie.
Ain't no kill like overkill.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are a little off target, but that's fine. So, this place, which you've traveled to once before, is fairly gloomy. The most striking and immediate impression you are experiencing is the lack of color and light. There's no sun, no moon, nor stars to adorn the vault of the inky black sky, and all things look as if the color has been leached out, leaving nothing but black and white, which in the kind of darkness of the Shadowfell is more like dark black and light black. Some features look similar to what you see on the material plane, but some of the features look utterly alien and haunting. You can tell that you're somewhat similar to Saya, but at least judging by the mountain ranges, you can see in the distance. Every mountain is like a cruel clawed finger ripping free from the ground where it protrudes. Where you do see trees, it's devoid of luscious green leaves as it withers in the sunless realm. And each body of water is brackish and acidic, almost thickened by the pollution of negative energy. Dirt and sands are dulled to shades of gray, and kind of scratch at the skin as foul winds blow the grains about. The environment itself is harsh. Many living creatures find it difficult to traverse the plane, let alone live in it. But even those who know the lay of the land on the material plane can't get used to the distorted echo of it. You seem to be in a field somewhere. The grass upon which you stand is brittle gray. What do you want to do?
Well, this place is delightful.
Pretty spooky.
Indeed. Do we think we want the light? Because I can start keeping that up.
How dark is it around? Like you said that it's all pretty black and white, but is it like the black of night, or can we see around?
You can see a little. It's more dim than like pitch black at the moment.
Okay.
If we don't want to draw more attention to ourselves, Valk has her dark vision sharing trick still.
That might be a better idea. I don't know if we want to be just walking around with a spotlight on us the whole time.
Especially
And
not
I'll
out
say
in
I'm
the open.
saving this for emergencies, and he'll, pat the little daylight orb he's got with him.
There's something to be said about having light in basically the realm of the undead, though. From what we're given to understand, and all that. Just thought. More to the point, when or if we feel like we need light, I'm packed.
We do not have a lack of light generation in this party.
That's true.
So
Aaron's gonna wink with each
he's
of his eyes in turn.
isn't that just blinking?
No, one directly after the other.
Flying kind of high above, you can see shapes just moving around in this very darkened sky.
Last time we were here, there were horrible, monstrous-looking birds that almost killed Aldrich, so I don't think we should hang out or draw attention here.
Like a bird to you?
Yeah,
Yes.
DM? You said that there are mountain ranges, and that they're kind of similar to where Saya's ranges are. Can I try and like figure out where Avitix should be from
Sure,
here?
roll a survival check.
Oh boy, because I am the survival expert. Yeah, that's about right. Hold on. Yeah, that's about right. All right. That's a 14.
I mean, you think you're somewhere east of where Aphatix might be.
Okay, I think we should be going this way.
Do we have any thoughts on going on foot versus taking owls?
As I said, there are lovely creatures flying high above.
Yeah, I don't think
Right
we
now.
should Yeah, there are circling things overhead, and I think that the owls would be a pretty attractive target for the flying beasties.
Any thoughts about fast ground animals, perhaps?
We could do horses or 32 wolves, I guess.
32 wolves.
2 wolves, 1 wolf for each foot.
Can we do skeleton horses? Is that an option?
That's a good question, actually. I don't think they would.
It fit
I think
into
they
the
would count as.
environment.
Well, no, they'd count as monsters and not animals. I'm pretty sure that Lish can summon specifically.
Yeah, Lish speaks up and says, I can summon regular horses, not skeletal ones.
I don't know. I think 32 wolves would
And,
be really cool, but that's
and then,
Avery's opinion, not
then
Demir's.
Ichri says, I am quite fond of horses, but I am also concerned that the larger we appear, the more attention we will draw from those birds that you mentioned.
It seems
is
like
true.
anything that we do will attract attention. So the less things we do, the better.
Point, yeah.
I guess we could just walk for now. Summon animals if we need to get going fast.
Or maybe if the skies ever clear up.
Does anyone have access to spells such as seeming? Maybe we could disguise ourselves as undead and we will be left alone.
Good question.
I can't say I'm familiar, unfortunately.
What was the specific spell he suggested again?
I think it was
I
seeming.
couldn't hear. Seeming?
I have no idea if that will really hold up to scrutiny, but it could work, perhaps.
Uh, he is the only one that is able to take that spell.
Oh,
Rip.
do we have anything similar that we could use to just like make ourselves appear undead? Maybe any form of illusion.
I mean, I can cast
Looking
guys
towards
spells,
Avery's
but
portrait.
that
I
would be fine for me, and not for the rest of you.
I could pull out Ald for a second. Having a ghost with us might be Shadowfell-y.
Yeah, I don't really have anything that can help in that regard. Aside from invisibility.
Visibility would keep us from being seen from afar, at least. Ideally, at least. Anyway.
Invisibility would decrease our group size.
Yeah, how do the circling birds look like they're just circling, or do they look like they are circling around us?
Perception check.
Sure.
And while you're rolling that, Ichri says, if we are intending to just be stealthy or on the down low, a pass without a trace could also work if anyone can do that one.
I know someone
That was a
can.
12 on my perception check.
Hard to say, Demir.
All right. And I'm going to check Lish's spells because I think that he should have fucking
I think he was the one who cast it when we were going to the dragon's lair. I know that we had it for that.
passive. Yes, he does have pass without a trace. Excellent. So between Demir and Lish, we can get some people invisible and some people
Traceless.
there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think everyone can be traceless.
Everyone can be traceless.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's
think
Pacific?
I think we want to be focused mostly on not getting noticed. I mean, there's a problem with being a big flashy group. But I think there's also a problem with being like two random people easy to attack.
Okay, Lish can cast it for everyone as long as everyone is within 30 feet of him when he casts it.
Oh, easy.
Everyone can get pass without a trace.
If I may make a suggestion as the DM, those that are the most unstealthy would probably benefit from being invisible because the invisibility grants advantage, and then pass without a trace is a +10.
Good point.
And I can cast my invisibility for 4 people, up to 4 people.
So if we're going to negate Hawk and Valkyria's disadvantages, then we'd have 2 extra.
Yeah.
If 2 other people wanted to be invisible.
Anyone suck at stealth?
Well,
I'm
I mean,
I'm not awful. I'm not
anyone
cool.
else suck at stealth is probably the better question.
Yeah.
Because you know for a fact who does.
We're taking you 2 out. The question is, what other 2 people should we grab?
Or maybe we should just invisible the 2 least stealthy people so there's a moderate sized group so 2 people aren't being targeted. Also,
I think everyone's going to suggest that he should probably be invisible too. Just on account of the like Azimar and kind of glowing type stuff.
That's fair. Also, as long as we're formed up around Valk, everyone gets an additional 10 foot of movement for free so we can hustle a little bit without tiring ourselves.
Ooh, based.
Nice.
Okay, so there's a 4th person I can cast it on. I can either cast it on 2 people or 4 people. Those are my options.
You can't do 3?
Nope. Because I'm a warlock. I only have 5th level.
Right.
Also, since we're going sans extra light, if people, I want to make a sticky note of who needs dark vision when it's needed.
Hi.
Hawk.
Literally
Hawk?
just me.
No, Tobias doesn't have dark vision either.
Oh,
Tobias is literally regular guy TM.
I forgot. Because like Demir's also regular woman TM, but she also has.
No, she's not. What are you talking about? She's a fucking warlock.
Yeah, but like that's not my point. Is on the racial front, because like whatever, like everyone else has dark vision.
Hawk. Sometimes humans can see in the dark.
I do have goggles of
that's
dark
what
vision.
I meant.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Everyone else has like a literal racial feature that gives them dark vision.
And what about Eitri?
I think he's also human, so
yep,
he needs it.
I can only give it to 2 people at a time unless if I burn spell slots.
Unless Mama's been keeping secrets, that boy's straight human.
We're
human, sorry.
Not straight.
God, wouldn't it be a funny scandal if you weren't fully human?
Rip.
Look, if you want to talk like keeping secrets, talk to your grandma.
Yeah, that's great grandma's issue, not mine.
Since it's only dim, I think Valk will keep her dark vision passing out in her back pocket. to conserve spell slots, but once it gets darker or we get into combat, I'll dark vision the peoples.
Cool. So Demir will cast invisibility on Valkyria, Hawk, Erin, and um she'll just cast it on herself just for shits and giggles.
So our visible party is E3, Lish, Tobias, the three of them.
On second thought, switch that. E3 gets invisibility.
Okay.
So it's
So our visible party is Demir,
who?
Lish, Tobias.
Yes. The thruple.
So, Lish will cast Pass Without a Trace. Let's roll stealth, you guys.
The dreaded words.
So everyone gets a +10 to their stealth. Invisible people have advantage.
I'm gonna.
We average out 17. No,
21.
27. Sorry,
Okay.
math.
I'm using a resource on this
So Pass
because
Without
that's
Trace is just
awful.
makes it set people what?
So Pass Without a Trace gives you a +10 to whatever you roll for stealth.
Oh, thank God, that's a 19 then.
So,
Unnatural 30.
He trees at 33.
hot damn.
You?
Lish is at 33 as well. And
Alright.
Demir is 25.
All right. You guys feel pretty confident in your ability to not be seen as you start to make your way westward in the direction that you hope to find maybe Avotix, maybe whatever it is in this plane. Can I have someone roll a d20 for a random encounter?
Nardiana?
16.
16. All right. So, as you are traveling, you kind of wade through this dead gray grass and are eventually able to find what seems to be more of a beaten path. And stick alongside this, or at least close to it, to keep an eye as it's headed in the general direction that you guys are heading in. And as you traverse, kind of all at once, you suddenly realize that background noise is gone. There's not even the crunch of gravel underfoot or the rustle of trees or grass. Just dead silent.
I'm looking around and making sure that there's not an obvious giant predator around.
Perception check.
I was gonna ask if Tobias could do a perception check as well.
Roll perception check.
Finally, a chance to get water. I'll be right back.
And this was based on a sound, right?
This would be a sound base, yes.
Sick. Then he gets advantage on that because of heightened senses. I'm actually reading my stuff.
That's the 25.
Oh, he nat 20.
Holy shit.
Right.
So that's a 21. So there's no point in me doing my other roll because it was a nat 20.
All right. So both of you automatically start to look around to try to see if there's a large predator nearby or anything. And you can't see anything and you can't hear anything. You guys are able to vocalize as normal. It's just that everything around you for a while is quiet. And after a heartbeat or two, the area around is filled with howls and screeching and buzzing so loud it deafens you all. It's very loud.
Can we see anything, or is there still just noise?
Still just noise.
Is it coming from any direction?
Perception check.
My 25
I will
doesn't carry
perception
over.
check. Perception.
Holy shit, that's another 25. I rolled the same thing.
Well, damn. I guess you're good then.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I doubt I would have gotten lucky again.
You do have advantage.
Oh, that's true. Let's see what the other roll would have been. No, I got a 12 at the highest. You take over, Dimir.
All right.
You can't tell. It's just so loud. It is coming from all directions. So loud and in your ears and in your head. And all of you can hear this. It's just so incredibly loud. Each tree, even though he's invisible, is like covering his ears.
And it's just the sound of buzzing. There's no other like accompanied sounds such as snapping of twigs or like something is fighting in the distance.
I mean, it sounds like fighting. It sounds like howls, screeches, and buzzing.
Oh.
Just a cacophony, just beating against your head.
Something may have got nearby.
I think we need to get going.
Yeah.
You guys are all deafened by this sound.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fucking hell. I'm a bard. I'm going to look at my bard abilities. Is this a charm? Are we being charmed right now?
I think we're being deafened right now. Are you like transfixed in place at all, or?
Yeah, we can move, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we should probably move then.
I think, yeah, I think we should start hustling. Demir is going to start moving.
Right. After about 5 minutes, sounds fade away and your ears are still kind of ringing from the sheer volume, but you can hear again.
Oh.
I think something got.
Yeah, I think it did.
It wasn't us, and that's what matters.
Nature running its course, I suppose. I would just hope we're not in it.
The sounds around you are back to normal as well. You can hear the crunch of gravel underfoot and the faint sound of the breeze.
I don't want to be here when whatever that was comes back around after it's done with its meal.
Yeah.
I think we should keep going.
Demir
is like at least like 20 feet ahead of y'all, just like, I'm going, we're going.
All right. Are there any other conversations that you'd like to have as you travel? Or is there anything that anyone's doing in particular?
Valk's kind of having to focus on making sure everyone's kind of grouped up around her so the speed buff is in effect.
Valk is in a very strange land, so he is keeping alert for any
I was gonna say
ghouls, zombies, or vampires, hopefully not, that come over the horizon.
I was gonna say that Tobias would be keeping an eye out for any creatures or monsters or whatever, either flying about overhead or moving through the underbrush.
Yeah, I was listening to see if the sound goes weird again.
All right. Perception checks then for Hawk, Tobias, and Urin.
I just tried to open my sheet while it was already open. Anyway. $19.
18.
That's
It
gonna
was an
be
inch away from 1.
Tobias,
But,
what did you get?
15.
Okay. So Hawk got the highest.
Surprisingly, yes.
Okay. You're keeping an eye out, looking around. You can still see the shadowy shapes of the gloom stalkers high up above. They seem to dominate the skies of the Shadowfell. Hawk, very briefly in the distance, you think you see a woman in all black. She is wearing a long, dark dress, and she seems to be wearing a mourning veil over her face. And as soon as you catch sight of her, you kind of double take, and when you look back, she's gone.
Did anyone else see that?
Just you?
See what?
There was a woman on the horizon, but when I checked again, she disappeared.
Following us.
On the lookout for mourners, I suppose.
Did she hide? Is she still there?
No, she's gone. Only
An
saw her for
illusion.
maybe. Or it could be
Keep
an
an eye
illusionist.
on our back. She may be following us. It may be a spirit of some kind.
Paranoia is the correct reaction.
She was over there. Should we look over there? See if we can find her? Or
I don't
No,
think
it may be like an anglerfish.
The last time we found someone in the Shadowfell, they got a free access pass to our manor. I'm not planning on giving out a second one.
It could be like an anglerfish.
what is
Don't
that?
trust them.
A lure.
Yes. It has a little light on its head that it lures prey into. It could be like that.
That's bait.
Fair enough. Keep an eye out for mourners, I guess.
She was in mourning attire, so yeah.
It's just going to kind of nervously pluck a little bit at the lyre, just kind of without even thinking about it, is just playing a little chord.
All right. Those of you that are continuing to keep an eye out, it's fascinating. Like the terrain is familiar, but different at the same time. It's like if the uncanny valley effect were land.
Easy.
Not a happy space.
No, it is not. It's pretty spooky.
I would like everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Everyone gets a bonus on this.
You three got a 20.
Yeah,
Demir got a nat 20.
Yeah, between Valkyria and
+3.
Yeah, we're both +3, and between our two paladinian auras, everyone should be able to get it.
So that's a plus
Just a
three,
+3,
or
yeah.
okay.
They don't stack, thankfully / unfortunately.
Then Tobias has a 10.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Wisdom.
So
18.
Lish got a 25 and Demir got a natural 30 with a natural 20.
Oh my god. Aaron got a 15.
Okay. Okay. Lowest was Tobias at 10?
Correct. Yes.
You are all fine for the moment.
Isn't something you like to hear after a will save?
This is great. Oh boy. Yeah, I really don't have anything. I was hoping I might have something and I don't. Oh boy.
It is starting to get darker.
Have we seen any, aside from the road, have we seen any signs of civilization? Any light on the horizon or otherwise? Huh?
Not at the moment. You can roll another d20, though, if you want to see if you stumble across anything interesting.
I mean, sure, unless someone else wants to roll.
What check is it?
Just a random check.
To see if you stumble across any creatures, living or dead, on the road.
Okay, Tobias will roll a d20. Nobody blame me if it goes bad.
I will blame Tobias instead. Noted.
Tobias is a good boy. He doesn't deserve this slander. That's an 11. Only I can slander him, horribly.
Fair enough.
11.
No necessarily signs of civilization. There is sign of intention, shall we say. Not too far from the road upon which you are traveling, there's a small pile of freshly churned dirt with a little spade sticking out of it. Not large enough for, say, like a body, but like maybe like around this size.
It's maybe like a pet or something.
Just a spade on the side of the road, nothing else? And churned up.
Yeah, there's the turned up dirt with the spade. It looks pretty fresh, like someone passed through here not too long ago.
Considering the fact that it's getting darker, do we want to keep moving or do we want to hunker down with Volk's tiny hut?
I was thinking about the tiny hut. You probably don't want to be caught out in the darkness in the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a good idea.
No.
Honestly, I'm kind of wondering if Vitree's demi-plane isn't also a good idea.
That would
Not
work,
to
right?
volunteer your spell slots, but
My spell is a ritual cast, whereas I don't know what Eitri's demiplane is.
It is not a ritual cast. It is a level 8 spell.
That makes sense.
And he has to cast it again to get out of it, correct?
Yep.
I think maybe we should go with the dome then to make sure we have that level 8 for tomorrow.
How safe is the dome?
Yes.
Okay.
You need high level magic to dispel it, otherwise it is impenetrable to anyone that was not inside of it when it was cast.
we also have the fortress. But
I think the dome might be better.
I think the dome might be better.
yeah.
Yeah, because like the fortress is tough, but can be destroyed. Not that I'm worried about that. I'm more worried about the presence of the fortress itself.
Yeah, it's something larger to be seen, whereas I can just make a little gray dome in the middle of wherever.
It's Leomin's tiny hut, not Leomin's enormous mansion.
Not yet.
All right, get cozy.
Valk needs to stay in the dome for the duration, so she's going to take care of business and then dome up.
All right. Is anyone taking watch?
All
Tobias
those in
will-
forever.
First one.
Tobias will take second watch if Aaron is taking first.
I think Lish will probably take a watch.
We could do watch buddies because Hawk's also got the whole like Warforged sentry thing going on.
Yeah, Lish can buddy up with folks or take one on his own.
Lish and Toby, Aaron, and Hawk.
Sounds good to me.
Unless one of you would rather just sleep.
All right.
I would say we probably found a little spot not on the road for casting it.
Are you still more or less in the area of the dug up spot?
I personally would want to move on maybe at least 10 minutes from the dug up spot, but not too far, so we're not too far into the night. But that's just me.
Kind of want to know what got buried.
But it might not be a good idea to disturb it.
I mean, if
Be
it's
someone's
grave,
garden project,
we
who
can
knows?
recover it.
Yeah, but some creature might be able to tell that it was dug up, and do we want potentially something coming after us in retribution or whatever?
True, but I mean, it's the first sign of civilization that we've been able to tangibly touch.
It's not so much civilization as it is someone put something there on purpose. We don't know when they're going to come back for it, whether it be in years or in a few hours. I don't know if we want to risk disturbing it and potentially bringing a focus onto us.
It's also worth mentioning that we don't know what other than vampires would even live here.
But it could give us a clue. I mean, with an object, I can possibly scry on something.
The mirror.
Would you
Let's
be able to
not.
use the shovel? Because
I
there was
don't
a
know.
shovel that was left in it.
The spade.
Yeah. Could you use that instead of whatever was buried?
I guess I could try.
That might be a better option than digging up what was buried, so that way we're not disturbing the whatever was put there, but it's still an object of the Shadowfell.
Sure, why not? I'm going to go over to the spade. And actually, first I can use the glint eye to see if it's been stolen recently. Its value, all that stuff.
Do you have to see the physical object for the glint eye to work, or
I think I have to examine the object for the glint
Okay.
eye to work.
So you would just be checking the spade to see if it was stolen?
Yeah. And I have my magic eyes up as always, but I figure that if it's magical, the DM would inform me.
Not magical, nor do you get a glint of anything magical under the dirt.
Okay, so it wasn't stolen. I can tell the object's approximate value in gold pieces. Yeah, whether or not it was stolen in the last 10 days.
Worth about a gold piece.
Cool. Seems like just a normal spade. I'm going to pick up the spade and go into the hut to scry with it.
Okay.
I don't know what this will turn up, but I am going to try and scry focused on the spade.
Okay. Focusing on the spade and who it may have belonged to, your vision clarifies to see a small, at best you can guess, residential home. There is the walls themselves are made of stone, and it's the same kind of dark loneliness of the rest of the Shadowfell that you have been traversing through. But inside you can see an elf. This elf has kind of grayish skin, and she has long black hair tied back in just a very simple braid. She's wearing the clothes of a peasant, for lack of a better descriptor, and she is kind of just standing near a cooking pot over a hearth. And she's kind of absent-mindedly stirring the cooking pot, and then she stares off into space, clear that she's thinking about something.
Is there a window in the room? Can I see out of it?
There is not a window in the room, but you can see that there is a a hand-woven rug that looks pretty old that she's standing upon, and scattered toys here and there.
Oh, there are toys. Oh no. You said it wasn't big enough for a full coffin. Is it small enough for a child coffin?
Might be a little too small for a child.
Cool. I don't know. She looks kind of normal. Should I try speaking to her? Or should I save my speaking scry?
I mean, what
I can't get
would you be saying?
What did you bury?
I don't know that we need to know that. TBH.
Fair enough. All right. Demir will just watch for her little 10-minute scry and then come out of it and just like it seemed like it was just a normal elf. She had a child. She was cooking dinner. I'm going to dig up the spot a little bit with the spade when I'm returning it.
Okay. You don't have to dig too far. You're able to find a strong box, very shallowly buried.
The lockbox.
It is not locked.
Oh, it's unlocked. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm gonna peek in.
Okay. So inside is a teddy bear. It is brown and looks kind of frankly shoddily made. And you can see that even despite its kind of threadbare appearance, kind of going down the middle is a loosely sewn together tummy.
There's something hidden in the bear. I know that this is going to be a problem probably, but Demir is going to try and poke her fingers into...
Are you trying to disturb the stitches at all? Or are you just like trying to feel inside?
Yeah, I'm just going to feel if there's something in there.
Yeah, you can feel a couple of things in there. There's something that seems to be made of wood. Actually, a couple things made of wood. Something that seems to be more of like a leather texture, and then something small that is cold to the touch metal.
I mean, yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to can I undo the stitch work, or do I have to cut it?
I mean, you could probably pull it loose if you really wanted.
Yeah, I'm going to see about pulling it.
All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
So you find a few things inside this teddy bear. first of all, there are several realistic painted wooden organs inside, like anatomically correct. Like, frankly, the craftsmanship is beautiful. You can also find a smaller toy in there. It's like a centipede-like horse figurine with far too many legs and an extended torso. There's a little leather pouch that kind of rattles a little bit when you touch it, and then the metal thing that you find is a single silver piece.
What's in the pouch?
Baby teeth.
Oh. This seems very ritual. This seems very intentionally done. I'll just, I'm just going to return the objects into the bear and put the bear back in the lockbox and put the lockbox back in the ground and put the dirt back over it and put the hoe back.
All right.
I'm just gonna return to the group like wasn't anything of interest, really. I should have listened to y'all. Fair enough.
Aaron, who's, standing at the doorway and has been like staring at you, weapon out, nods, and then goes back into the hut.
Isn't the hut like a solid like dome of force? So I'm just imagining Aaron doing like the freaking like Homer Simpson like immersing himself back into the hedge thing.
Yeah, he just
the
leans
featureless
back into
gray
it.
dome.
There we go.
Yes. Demir is just going to return into the dome and like it was just some elf, I have no idea, some resident of this plane doing something, I'm sure.
Did you get any kind of context clues of where she might be?
No, just some residential area. She appeared to be a peasant.
Well, it is still good to know that the area we're in is somewhere you can presumably walk from an area where people live.
Yeah, it seemed like some sort of ritual object or I don't know, coming of age token, something. It's creepy.
Strange culture. It's down here.
Wait, so Demi revealed to the party that she dug up the grave?
Great.
I mean, she wasn't hiding what she was doing.
Okay.
She was just doing it outside the dome. All right. Demir is going to make sure that everyone gets something good to eat before we go to sleep.
Get to what? You kind of trailed off a little.
Get something good to eat before we
Okay.
go to sleep. Sorry.
All right.
I'm like, none of us have used any hit die, so any of the special effects of our food are null right now, but
Gotcha.
All right. Let's see. We had Yeren Tobias, Lish, and Hawk all taking turns for watch.
I think in pairs of sleep and sleepless. I'd sort of like proposed that, but didn't really get a response.
I said sounds good to me.
Okay, I must have missed that. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's see. Tobias, why don't you make a perception check with advantage because Lish is assisting you.
Okay.
How will I, Toby?
It's gonna be a 14.
All right, that's fine. We're on difficulty C. At some point during the night, a creature kind of comes closer to the dome, start looking it over. It looks vaguely humanoid in shape, kind of, but like weirdly emaciated and kind of dried out. And instead of regular arms, it has, first of all, 5 arms that kind of end in like pincer-like things. And it approaches the dome, kind of looks it over, and like pokes around it a bit with its pincers. You and Lish both catch a glimpse of this creature's face, and it looks sad. It looks depressed. Where its eyebrows would be are kind of drawn together, and its mouth is just agape, like it's wailing in grief, but you can't hear any sound. It kind of pokes around the dome with its pincers, walks around it once, twice. It makes a very sad sound, sort of like you'd expect a dog to make when it's experiencing separation anxiety. Then starts to go on its way.
Once it's like far enough out of sight or distance away, Tobias just kind of like mutters quietly under his breath, "Yeah, that's right. You better keep fucking walking. Precious ass looking creature. You ain't special. You're not the only one depressed out here, bitch. Get out of here."
So, other than that, and you can also see all of you on watch throughout the night. Various other creatures pass by, but that was the only one that gets close to you guys. But the night passes relatively without trouble. Does anyone have anything they'd like to do in the morning?
Sorry, what?
Tobias does not have anything that he would like to do. Because sending stones, they don't work across planes, do they?
They do.
They do?
You can cast sending across planes, but there is a small chance that it would fail.
Tobias will give it a shot. Say, "Hey, Dad, So we're in the Shadowfell. Hopefully not for long.
Hey, Dad, we're in the Shadow Realm right now.
Every time you call, you're giving that man a heart attack. But yeah, the spell arrives without any problem. Elsie gets back to you very quickly and says, watch out for undead types there. They say things are weird here.
They say things are weird there, or they say things are weird here?
Things are weird where Elsie is.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That
ain't good.
Tobias will mention that to the rest of the party. Like, my dad says that things are weird where he is. I don't.
Most people are asleep at this point, right?
You don't know.
It's the watch. Fair enough.
No, it's during the morning.
Oh, it's during the morning. Okay.
It's morning time.
Oh, I didn't know okay.
Focus. Lock in.
I thought we were doing 2 shifts of watch.
We did.
Oh.
Watch has already happened, buddy.
I thought it was 4 people. I'm sorry.
No, nothing else happened during the night.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Lock in, guys.
Would you like me to send an additional sending to get clarification on that?
That might be a good idea, just so we might have an idea, because all I said was
What does he mean by things are weird?
That's what I want to know. Is it just, so some plan is going in the works or whatever, or has there been a change in environmental factors, or what? We don't know for sure, so it might be a good idea to send a message to be like, hey, could you maybe elaborate on that a little bit more?
Hey, what the fuck does that mean? But yeah, come up with your 25 words and Valk will send it for you.
Hey, Dad. Just wanted to get some clarity on that. What did you mean by things here are weird? I love you.
Make sure you have 2 words so that Val can at least say Toby says. So that
there's 2 words left.
Good. Because otherwise Val would be sending that just straight up to Oafsy. He'd be like, who is this? You're not my child.
Well, the message also said, hey, Dad.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah.
So do you send her the message, Valk? Okay.
Si, senora.
Elsie gets back to you. You hear him say, there have been dinosaurs here in the forest. Not supposed to be there. Supposed to be dead.
What?
Dinosaurs?
What is a dinosaur?
They're
Should I know?
I barely know myself, but they're ancient creatures. For some reason, people can never agree on whether they have scales or feathers, but that's neither here nor there.
You can roll a history check.
Yeah, I'm going to
go with my limited amount of information because it's funny.
Tobias go for a history check as well, because since Oopsie mentioned it, It might be something that he knows. Oh, that's a 20. Not a nat 20, but a 20.
20 good.
I think 23.
All right. Demir and Tobias, you would know that dinosaurs, they were more of a thing in the Dawn era. As I've mentioned before, the way that is commonly that time is commonly categorized is in eras. You're currently in the 9th era. The Dawn era is when gods more or less created the worlds and humanoids and lots of other creatures. And intelligent beings were underdeveloped. So the gods would guide them through multitude of different things, such as how to domesticate animals, agriculture, tool building. But during the Blood era, the 2nd era, it's when the evil aligned gods, more or less, began to demand sort of an equal foothold in the world as held by the deities that are considered good. The war broke out between the gods, which had such destruction over several thousand years that it caused species to go extinct, such as dinosaurs.
Oh, those dinosaurs. Well, that's weird.
I wonder if you've seen a Spinosaurus.
Compognathus, my beloved. I don't say that in character.
Well, I guess it is out of place time. It's pretty what we've come to expect. Demir does kind of like murmur a little, and Marhabi like, I want to see the dinosaurs.
I feel like most of us would want to see the dinosaurs, but I don't think the dinosaurs would want to see us as anything but food anyway.
Depends on which one you meet.
That's fair.
All right. So do you continue your trek?
If it's the morning, then probably, yeah.
I mean, morning is a subjective term here in the shadow.
The less dark.
As long as it is not as dark as it was at night, I think we should probably move.
In lieu of morning and night, I guess we have the darkness and the darkless. Or darkless, rather.
Pass without a trace and invisibility again.
If you don't mind, I'd rather not attract every swooping thing in a 10-mile radius.
What he said.
Okay, thruple out.
Woo! Thank you.
And and pass without a trace from Lish.
All right.
So,
each got a 28.
That would be a 13.
Could be
with
worse.
pass without a trace and advantage.
Well, advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out. I get a +1 from stats, and then my +10. I literally rolled a 2.
Could be worse. I guess I stole all of Lars's luck because got a natural 20, and that adds up to a 33.
Raya's got a 32.
All right.
Demir
What check
had
are we
a
doing?
24 and Lish has a 19.
Okay.
What was that, Dove?
What check are we doing?
Stealth.
check.
You get a +10 from pass without a trace.
And advantage
Trace.
because you
Trace.
are invisible.
That'll be a 28.
All right. Overall party average isn't bad. I would love someone to roll another d20.
I'll go this time.
There's lots of fucked up things for you to stumble across.
Yay! That's a 6.
Oh my god, I was hoping you'd get this one. Okay.
Oh no.
It's not bad. It's just weird and creepy.
Ooh.
So you start to continue westward, walking for a while, trying to keep quiet, still aware of the things in the sky and the distant shapes moving every now and then. And close to the trail, there you can see an old stump, at the base of which there's a doll. The doll is very old, looks like it hasn't been disturbed in a while. It is knit and worn, and it has an uncanny resemblance to Tobias.
Huh?
The thread is the same color as the skin, the yarn for hair is black, and there are golden buttons for eyes.
Hawk just sort of like...
It even has a little green cloak and a wooden bow sewn to one of its hands.
Fuck you. I use Divine Sense, please.
I mean, there's undead all around you, but you're not getting anything from this doll.
Aaron's gonna poke Toby to make sure he's actually there.
Toby, are you there?
Are you still there? Yes, Tobias is still there. He's just kind of like looking at the doll with this kind of just look on his face of like, all right, of course this is happening.
This might
Sure.
as well.
Demir, do you see anything on that?
I assume it's not magical.
There seems to be a little knit doll that looks like one of your partners.
It seems to be just a normal doll from what I can tell.
It's not gonna like one of you touch it and then I feel it, right? It's not gonna be one of those kind of weird ones.
Hawk sort of like gently taps the doll's head.
Kind of lifts to the side a little bit and dust comes onto your finger. But no.
Is that a thing?
I don't know, I read some stories when I was a kid.
Yeah, I heard legend of people making dolls shaped after others in order to hurt them.
Aren't you supposed to be stealing one from the hag?
Does Valk know that?
I don't. Valk doesn't. Trevor knows it.
Ah, right.
Yes, it's either steal or destroy the doll of the cauldron. Or no, steal the cauldron or destroy the doll.
Was
the
it
doll you saw in your vision was a very specific doll. It was not this
one. Okay.
Yeah, it was not this one.
That not what I'm saying. You would know about voodoo dolls because of that.
Oh.
No,
Well.
I don't remember if the doll was a voodoo doll. Tobias knows from reading stories as kids.
Someone saw the doll, right? It was either Lish or Toby who actually spotted
No
it.
one saw the doll.
No one saw the doll. Okay.
Tobias saw it in a vision, but he did not see the doll itself in the hut.
Right. Did the doll look like anybody?
No.
Not anyone that you knew.
Well,
Okay.
if we think those stories are all rooted in reality, I'm a little inclined to take this and give it to you.
Even if it wasn't one of those kind of dolls, I don't know how I feel about just. On one hand, I don't want to touch it, but on the other hand, I don't know if I want to just leave it sitting out here.
It is a little dusty, which means it probably hasn't been used for a long time, thank the gods.
Did the fucking vampire make this?
Did Vero make this?
It might
Because
be.
if it's been sitting here for a while, and it very much looks like me, the only creature from the Shadowfell that I can think of that has seen my face is that fucking vampire.
Could just be a coincidence. It's hard to say.
There's no fucking way this is a coincidence.
We're taking this doll.
It also could not be from the vampire guy, but sus.
I
They
don't want
might
to
be
leave.
able to track us though if we take it. If someone knows we have it.
I'm not sure if I want to leave.
It would have
any
to
other
be a magic
possibility
item, though,
chance,
wouldn't it,
though.
for it to be trackable? And
No.
when Dan, oh, it doesn't have to be a magic item.
Spells
No,
like
Demir
locate
was
objects
able
do
to-
exist.
Demir was able to scry on that random lady just by picking up her shovel.
Yeah, it's an object.
And
Okay.
Could
and like how
try.
can
So that
I
lady
could try scrying on the doll. See.
You could give it a shot, see if maybe it'll show you where it came from.
who made it? Maybe we'll see a familiar face.
Sure,
You'll get TV static.
I'll try scrying on the doll.
what's the blood hunter thing?
Scrying on the doll or using the doll as a scry focus?
I'll use the doll as a scry focus.
Okay. You try to gaze into the scrying orb. Your vision is just dark. Anything. Whoever made it rolled a natural 20.
Damn.
Does Toby have the blood hunter or object history thing?
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, Grim.
I think I forget
Grim
about that.
psychometry. Yeah, it doesn't really unfortunately doesn't come up a lot, but you could use it on this potentially.
Okay.
Seems like a use case for it, if any.
Okay.
Oh my god, I should use one of those things too. Sorry, I was just like looking through my stuff. Okay, let's see. I know I'm pretty sure. There it is. When making an intelligence or history check to recall information about the sinister or tragic history of an object you're touching or your current location, you have advantage on the roll.
All right. So you pick up the doll?
Yeah.
Okay. A little cloud of dust comes up as you pick it up. Roll a history check.
Okay. I will roll with the advantage will apply to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 19.
19. All right. So you hold the doll in your hand and look it over, and you try to think and focus. And eventually you close your eyes, and as you hold this doll, and suddenly you are smaller. You're small, and you're sitting on the back of a cart carriage. You can see people around you. They are elves, much like you, with skin of varying shades of gray, their hair able to all different shades, again, of kind of varying between light gray and pitch black. They're moving around, and you're holding this doll and kicking your feet. Something happens. You don't know what it is. And you are holding your doll and running. The cart is gone. The adults are gone. You're just running, and you're alone, and you're gripping onto your doll for dear life, and something is happening. You're not entirely sure what it is, but you need to get away. You're aware of that. And your doll is your only source of comfort as you're running. You find yourself on a road different than the one you're on before. You're so hungry. And you need to find your way back to everyone else. But you're so hungry and you're so tired. So you sit at the base of a stump, just trying to rest for a moment. You're not old enough to know how to trance yet properly like the adults. So maybe if you just sleep lightly, maybe you'll be able to find the others again. Or maybe they'll find you. And then you can go back to playing with your doll on the cart. But as you're resting, you hear something. And you jolt awake and look around, and the something is close, and it sounds scary, and you run away, accidentally leaving your doll behind. And Tobias, you come out of the vision.
As Tobias kind of just opens his eyes, he looks down at the doll he's holding in his hand, and just sadly goes, "Oh." And then he will place the doll into his pack. It's not anything dangerous.
That's a relief.
Where did it come from?
It belonged to a small child.
Oh.
So is it a coincidence? It's looking real skeptical.
I'm not entirely sure yet, but it won't cause us harm.
You know, we were, I think, if I'm remembering right, big historical figures in the first timeline around. maybe it's time bullshit, and maybe this was a normal kind of thing uh, for someone to have during that time or timeline or whatever.
A Toby doll to make people feel better.
To ask for a clarification, DM, in the vision that Tobias saw, the environment, did it look like the Shadowfell, or was it? Oh, it did. Okay, so that whole vision took place in the Shadowfell.
Mm-hmm. A little kid in the Shadowfell got separated from their family, got lost.
And they had a Tobias doll.
At least the doll that resembles.
Are there aspects of the doll that are different to Tobias?
I mean, clothing's a little different. The hair is, I mean, it's a little longer. Doesn't have any facial hair.
Makes sense.
Who knows? Maybe we'll find more of these little Toby dolls out of place in time.
I would hope that if he has a fan club, it's not for a creepy reason.
I think it's kind of cute. If it really is just a child's doll, that's adorable.
I just wish that the ending for that child was better. But even then, if this is actually a doll of me, rather peculiar choice, I suppose. I almost think Aaron would be the better option. He lights up after all.
I mean, sure, that might be more
with a special feature.
I mean, sure, that might be more marketable.
Get your Aaron action figure with light up eyes.
No, but you hear a story, you develop a favorite character in it. Guess this child probably just latched onto you.
Tobias's expression is thoughtful at that.
Plus, I would say you are the closest to a teddy bear that we've got in the group. Lish, 4 legs notwithstanding.
I don't know if I'd call him a teddy bear, but...
What would the name for teddy bears be? Because Teddy Roosevelt doesn't exist.
I mean, we can always just say that
Don't
there's a guy named Teddy.
The famous wizard, the famous elf Teddy, Theodore Rosevine.
Theodore Rosevine, yeah. Tim, the baby.
I did actually name this one Tobias for no reason.
No reason whatsoever.
But anyway.
Toby Bear.
Yeah, just be soft. All right. So you tuck the doll into your thing. People are still keeping an eye out for the city.
Yep.
Roll perception check.
Wow. Demir and Lish rolled the same thing on their perception, but got wildly different results. Who'd have thought?
Perception for everybody, right?
Yep.
Right. 19.
12.
Lish got a dirty 20 and Demir got a 17.
Shit, Tobias got a 4.
The Tobias is distracted by the kid and his teddy bear. Tobias bear.
Tobias bear.
Toby doll.
Toby doll.
Honestly, Toby Bear has a really good ring to it.
It really does.
Toby bear.
All right. Those of you that got a 17 or above, you're searching. You know that you're looking more or less for a twisted reflection of Avotix. One of the most noteworthy features of Avotix in your mind is the Colossus. And so you find yourself kind of subconsciously looking for the Colossus of Avotix, or at least a Shadowfell version. But in the distance, you can start to make out the shape of a large pile of rubble. There seems to be, yes, a city around it, but if there was a Shadowfell version of the Colossus, it seems to have collapsed a long time ago. The silent protector of Avotix is destroyed.
Wow.
I would love for everyone to make those wisdom saving throws again.
Yeah. Good boy.
Fuck. A natural 1, so 10?
That fell out of my hands, but I'm just gonna take what it landed on. Remember that if you're close to Volk and Hawk, you get the +3. I got a 25.
Fuck, it's probably worth boosting that, even though it's bad. Fuck.
Shit, dude, I also got a nat 1. That's a 5, man.
The sadness spreads.
Demir got a 24 and Lish got a 36.
Aaron got an 11.
Oh, I'm sorry, 26.
Okay. Tobias, what was your total?
With the +1 to his wisdom saving, then +3 from the auras, that'll be a 5 total.
And Volk, what did you get?
Total or on the die?
Total.
Total.
Volk.
Oh, 10. Sorry, I did hand gesture.
Okay. So it sounds like it's just Tobias for now. Tobias, can you roll me a d6, please?
Yeah. Okay. That's a 3.
Okay. All right. So let me send you what that means. You can role play it as you like. Just a second.
Tobias's depression has returned. He appears haggard. Tired.
All right. You all continue on your way, approaching the strange, twisted reflection of Avatix. For those of you with high perception, such as Lish, who isn't here, so I'm saying this out loud, kind of looking at the rubble of the Colossus, he can make out what seems to be a large cave of some sort within the rubble, clearly visible from even here outside of the city. And he points it out to Demir.
You are muted, by the way.
Avery, you're muted.
Fuck, sorry. Demir just looks over at the cave and is just kind of like, do you think we should try to explore around first, or should we just focus on getting in the city?
This is a question to the group, yeah.
I think we want
restroom real quick while you guys discuss.
Sure.
I think we want to be in and out as much as possible.
Our main goal is to get more information on where exactly the Phoenix is, right?
Yes.
So I think maybe we hurry on our way to the city so that we can get that done, and then we can leave once we have a good idea.
Yeah, the Phoenix is in the mountains, so probably not in the Colossus cave. Although I am admittedly a little curious.
The Royal Palace was right beneath the feet of the Colossus in our plane, right? Maybe that's where the royal family is.
No, if I recall correctly, the Colossus was outside of town.
No, the Colossus is the centerpiece of the whole city.
Oh.
Was
okay.
it?
Yeah.
I thought it was outside of town.
I thought it overlooked
I'm pretty sure
the town.
I'm pretty sure it was either. Yeah, and I got me second guessing. I'm pretty sure it was either
because it's a huge fucking statue.
Yeah,
to the point where if
it's
it fell,
a massive statue. It would literally prevent the sun from getting down into the palace.
Well, I mean, the sun isn't always directly overhead, right? Depending on where the legs are positioned, that palace could absolutely get some sun in the morning and evening and just have total shade in the afternoon. But either way, it would be a position of power. I remember the Colossus being inside the city proper. I guess once Avery comes back, we can get confirmation on that. Hi, Avery.
Yeah.
We need confirmation on something. So the Colossus of Avatix, is it inside the city or just outside it?
Inside.
I remembered it being inside. And
okay.
And wasn't the Royal Palace
dead center in the city?
Knew it. And wasn't
the rubble that you see, given that it's dead center in the city, it just looks like it collapsed, but there's like a huge kind of pile of shards of the protector of Avatix, overlooking the rest of the city. And you can see this large cave that's built from the rubble, again, overlooking the city. But the city itself, this version of Avatix at least, has high, menacing walls and a wide moat, creating kind of a somewhat swampy terrain.
That makes sense. And we were at the Royal Palace for the masquerade. It was underneath this Colossus proper, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Assuming that perhaps that cave is where the Shadowfell royal family has moved, might be a pretty good inference to make.
You guys had done some research on this city. You can roll a history check if you like.
Sure, I think it's a pretty good assumption either way, but I'll take it. Or I'll roll for it, rather. Flat D20 for me, that's 17.
17?
Tobias got a dirty 20.
Ooh.
I got a 13, but I don't think.
So Tobias and Hawk remember something that Levy had said about this city. It's ruled by a vampiric dragon.
I think that's where the dragon lives.
I think that's where the dragon lives, actually.
Right.
Known as Nilfgaard, the Ebony End.
I totally forgot about the dragon ruler, and I'm amazed that I forgot about the dragon ruler, because I would remember that. Look, usually.
Here's the thing. Like, people play D&D all the time, but they don't put in enough dragons.
They don't.
I'm here to fix that.
Thank you. I have several friends who would agree. In fact, I am telling them that you're completely based right now.
Why aren't there enough dragons in Dungeons and Dragons? Because they're cowards. There are dragons all over the place.
Truly. Okay. I think we should make our way into town, or at least see if we can. Should we disguise ourselves a little bit? I mean, there's not much I can do. I suppose Lish is looking as best as he can, as always.
This I could do is disguise myself. Would we want to disguise ourselves as undead or as those elves that you are mentioning?
I don't imagine undead would be welcomed freely into the city.
We don't know enough about the culture.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe if we're... Well, do we want to have the ASMR gang invisible if we go into the city?
As I said, there's a huge moat, by the way, surrounding the city.
What if we just... sorry.
Well, I mean, there are gates to the city, right? Are they closed?
They're closed as far as you can see right now.
Oh.
Why don't you have Lish make a perception check? Actually.
Okay. Lish is the one with the good perception. That is a 23.
23. As you guys are getting a little closer to the city, Lish spots one of those same elves with pale gray skin and kind of silvery eyes, long dark hair tied back into a ponytail, with a small boat that he seems to be loading some giant dead spiders onto.
Oh, well, there. There's a guy. I'm not doing a very good Lish impression.
I like to make it easy for you guys sometimes.
Well, maybe we can get a ride with him.
As far as disguises, I think we should maybe just gray up so we look less out of place, but still not having to do anything too overt.
You guys do look gray to each other in the light.
Okay. That's definitely a lighting thing then.
Unless you are carrying anything that's glowing. Like, you know that scene in Avatar where Zhao kills the moon and everything turns black and white except for Yue's eyes? Kind of like that.
Just everything gets gray washed because of the pale light. Let me get that scene just so that people just refresh memories.
Well, I more am saying like cover up the stuff that is obviously not of this realm. So like make it so Aaron is glowing a little less, maybe wrap my spear, yada
Hawk
yada.
very slowly putting his mask back on his face.
Aaron.
Sorry, bud.
No, it's all right. I get it. I would have done the same anyway.
Completely turns off of his eyes, and it is now pitch black in his eye sockets.
That is horrific, Aaron.
Maybe a little light is fine.
He's going to smile as widely as he can at Demir.
Tobias like looks at Aaron and then he claps. He goes, da, da.
It is fitting. It is fitting. That's for sure.
Does Aaron's eyes light back up when Tobias claps twice?
You'll get a little twinkle.
Tobias will clap again. Do they go back off?
Clap off.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I love it. Amazing.
Valk fully pulls up her headdress and veil.
Tobias will wrap up the limbs of his oath bow.
All right. So you guys kind of wrap yourselves a little bit and start to approach this elf, who kind of tenses up as you guys approach, looking at you guys very, like, warily.
Demir will try speaking in Elvish and just greetings.
Greetings, he says in Elvish.
We are looking for a way into the city. Do you know perhaps where we could find such a way?
Are you trying to get in without paying the toll?
I mean, we're just hoping to enter however is easiest. Happy to pay a toll if there's one necessary. We're just travelers looking for a place to stay for the evening, somewhere safe.
Our ruler, he will ask for a great tithe in order to get in, as is his right.
Certainly. What sort of tithe? Do you know what he would accept?
Items of value, 100 gold pieces each.
I mean, we can certainly pay the gold. We have enough in the party funds.
Damir, you can roll a persuasion check. Too.
Sure.
Trying to make yourself seem non-threatening.
Yeah, all right. Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 28. $100 gold would be.
For 5, I can take all of you inside.
Oh, that would be lovely. We would appreciate it.
And those of you that can read Elvish, you can see just scrawled on the side of his little tiny, keelboat. He has named it the Lost Sun, S-U-N.
Do you need any help loading the spiders you have there?
No, they are very light when they are dead.
All right. Demir will turn to the group and just say, our friend here has offered to let us ride in his boat into the city. There's a tithe to pay, but we have more than enough in our funds to buy us access in.
Valk does a thing.
Demir will turn back to the elf and just say, well, by your leave.
So, are you going to pay the tithe to the vampiric dragon with 100 gold each, or are you going to give this guy 5 gold for him to smuggle you into the city?
Oh. I mean, I'm down to pay the whole toll just so that we're not potentially getting in trouble with the vampire dragon. But what do you guys think?
We do plan on bailing out of the dimension as soon as possible. So 5 gold each isn't a bad idea.
See, on one
the
hand,
thing is, we don't want to deal with a vampiric dragon getting pissed at us, though.
See, on one hand, we don't have any guarantee that the vampiric dragon would know that we smuggled ourselves into the city. On the other hand, we don't have any confirmation that they wouldn't.
Personally, I'm on the side of staying on the dragon's good side.
I would also rather not have a small army of vampires chasing us out of town and probably further.
Yeah,
We've
at this
bad
point,
luck with
we
vampires
can afford
in the past.
We can easily afford the 100 gold each. Let's just do that to play it safe.
Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to pay the 700 gold pieces for all of us to get in, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. I am paying the 700 gold pieces for all of us to get into the city, and I am also going to give the elf who helped smuggle us smuggled. I'm going to give him 40 gold pieces. It's a little bit more than he would have gotten if we had just paid him under the table. So just as a, thanks for helping us.
His eyes go kind of big at the sight of the gold. He happily takes it.
I'll give it to him in silver. Okay. Just to get rid of some of our silver.
Valid. Do you wish for me to take you to the docks? Where do you need direction?
Well, the ride would be appreciated.
Yes, the ride would be appreciated. If you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit more about the city, we're travelers, as I said, and
Nothing but I can tell.
I would love some guidance.
Very well. So he loads you all up onto the boat with the giant dead spiders, and they've got the dead spider thing going where like their legs are all kind of curled up, and they're just kind of in a heap. He starts to kind of take you through the swampy moat area, kind of weaving through the waters, making his way toward what seems to be a larger entrance to the city. And he says, you find yourself visiting Gloomvale. And he's still speaking in Elvish, by the way. So those of you that don't speak Elvish, get fucked, I guess.
Hawk
get fucked, Tobias.
Hawk can quietly translate for anyone curious. He's
Tobias just like leaning really close to Hawk, listening to the live translation.
Yeah. There's probably a couple words that are like slightly changed, just because, you know, translation. But
our city is ruled by the Ebony End. He has a, how you say, monopoly on all commerce within Gloomvale. It will punish any perceived impediment to trade, but in exchange he protects the people of our city from the threats of the Shadowfell, so long as we pay our taxes.
does the city come under siege often?
Depends on what or who is in the area. But you visitors will probably look for the restful roost place to stay.
Restful roost.
I would also recommend visiting the Church of the Raven Queen.
Interesting.
You can also find visitors from other areas, other planes to trade with. We get visitors from the lower planes sometimes.
We are actually here seeking a legend of our own. Are you familiar with Undead Phoenix?
I am. More or less.
What can you tell us about it?
It used to come to the city to pillage and take the lives of my people, seeking apparently destruction for destruction's sake. But the Ebony End has chased it away to the mountains.
I was going to say, it seems very bold to attack a dragon-protected city.
It was much more dangerous without the Ebony End here to protect us.
So the Phoenix was a problem before your current ruler arrived?
That is correct.
Fascinating. Which mountains? Those ones over there?
That would be the Howling Mountains to the west.
Howling Mountains. Fascinating. Has it been seen a lot? Is it very active or more of a legend?
The Eternal Mourner has not made her appearance since the arrival of our leader.
Fascinating. You lived here your whole life?
I have.
Lovely.
And
it's very different from where we're from, but I suppose there's a fascination to it.
I would recommend staying away from certain areas. Shadowfell. You will want to avoid the Shadow Dark. You will also want to stay away from the city of Neil to the southeast, undead metropolis. To the far west, other lands, you will avoid the dread mist with ruled by several squabbling dread lords. They are each trying to gain more power over the others.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out. We were warned about the Shadow Dog. Is there a particular area where it manifests, or just sort of
under
keep
your
an eye
feet
out?
always?
Okay, don't
Call
go down.
those who are uncautious.
Good to know. Is there anywhere in the city we should avoid, or is it relatively safe to walk around?
Do not go to the Ebony End's home without invitation.
Makes sense.
And with that, you've arrived at. It's interesting. In the middle of this moat, there seems to be a small island with a drawbridge. With a drawbridge next to it. And standing at the top of the drawbridge are a couple more of those same kinds of elves. They seem to be wearing like strange, unique armor. It's dark as ebony, but also seems like weirdly insectile, just in design. But you can see that your boat companion here waves, and they have a brief conversation in Elvish, where the owner of the boat says that he has visitors willing to pay the fees to enter the city. And one of the guards up there takes a long, for lack of a better descriptor, like a pole, and sticks it down into the muck, and kind of uses that to move to the island, kind of like a singular tall stilt. And you can see your boat companion gets out like a wooden plank for you guys to step onto the small island. The guard looks at you all expectantly.
Is he holding his hand out, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah, I will place the gold, the pouch of gold, 700 gold that I counted out, in his hand.
He counts you all, and then kind of like rummages through the gold, seems to nod as satisfied, raises an arm, and waves to the other guard, who lowers the drawbridge.
If we are parting from the elf that helped us into the city, Demir will just it was good to meet you, my friend.
Well, stay safe. This can be a dangerous land. I'm recommend you stay close to one another. It would not do for you to wander on your own.
You too. Keep well.
With that, he pulls the plank up and starts to sail away to another entrance, likely to sell his dead spiders wherever he's going with them.
All right. I suppose if the drawbridge is down, walk in.
All right. Okay. So you start to head in. The guard, once he has your gold, returns to his post, and they put up the drawbridge again. Those of you that are a little more knowledgeable of nature would know that this moat was built very purposefully, likely to protect the denizens of the city from wandering undead. But now that you're inside the city, you're able to kind of get a better look at the buildings around you. The architecture seems to kind of claw at the sky in a defiant display of dark stone and iron. There are lots of immense towering spires, each kind of crowned with intricately carved gargoyles to glower down at the streets below. The structures around you are adorned with stone figures and flying buttresses that loom like skeletal figures of ancient giants, holding the buildings together against the relentless winds that kind of whip through the narrow, cobbled streets. Everything about the city, the architecture is a testament to the craftsmanship of forgotten eras, with dark stone walls, sometimes etched with mysterious runes, weathered and faded by centuries of poor weather and gloom. There are windows with arched masterpieces of stained glass, all, again, in varying shades of gray. There are some different bridges of blackened iron that kind of crisscross the skyline, linking the tall, slender towers topped with wrought iron fences that frankly seem more decorative than functional. But perhaps they hold on the mystery of protecting the city from unseen forces. Beneath the bridge is the streets below are often hidden in perpetual shadow, as would be expected for the Shadowfell. It's a beautiful but haunting city.
We've walked straight into the middle of a nighttime Gothic architecture painting. I love it.
Oh, we walked into Gotham.
We walked into... I mean, I can't say you're wrong.
Where do you want to go?
Well, our friend with the boat recommended the Restful Roost. I assume that's an inn.
Mm-hmm.
And the Church of the Raven Queen. So, do we want to try to find accommodations? Do we want to try and find information? We know now that the Phoenix was chased over to the Howling Mountains.
Off to the west, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's...
That way. Demir will indicate where the mountains are.
Much better quest. Much better directions than we had previously, considering there's probably mountains on each side, but the south.
The Phoenix has been around since before the dragon, so I should have asked if there was a library or an archive.
Yeah, we can ask at the Restful Roost somewhere, I'm sure.
Is there in this kind of main strip, is there like any obvious like tourist sections or
Not really. You could head towards the marketplace if you wanted.
Well,
to search for information.
There is a market controlled by the dragon, so I don't know how much commerce will actually be partaking in, but could be a good place to ask for information. Or we could try and find a guard to direct us to the inn.
If we plan to stay the night, we should probably secure our lodging first. That way, if we get separated, we know where to meet back up.
True.
Okay. Is there anyone around that looks like they might have a sense of direction?
There are various guards here and there that all seem to be moving in pairs. There are also more elvish citizens moving to and fro, going about their business.
I'll go up to one of the guards in Elvish, just greetings. Could you point me towards the Restful Roost? I got a little turned around.
You can find the Restful Roost few streets down that way.
Excellent.
You will search for smaller buildings, 2 stories.
Excellent. Thank you. And Zamir will return and directions.
Okay. So with that, you're able to kind of wind your way through the street. And it's interesting, the streets themselves of the city, like, there are people, but it's still weirdly quiet for a city. There aren't really people having conversations with one another, at least not in this area. Fucking weird. Kind of making you guys feel tense. But you're able to find the Restful Roost. It's a small kind of gloomy looking inn made of the same dark stone as the rest of the city. Looks to be about 2 stories high with kind of grayish weeds growing near the base. But you know, you've seen worse. You're muted, Avery.
I keep on doing that. I mean, yeah, just head on in.
Okay.
Demir's going to, like, as much as possible, like, when she notices that the citizenry of the city aren't really speaking in the streets, she's going to do her best to just kind of blend in with that. And
it's interesting. It's almost like they're worried about being overheard by something, which is why they are not speaking. But heading inside to the inn seems to be well furnished, but kind of showing signs of wear and tear. Like a lot of the furniture has been in use for a long time. And you can see an elvish woman with dark gray skin and kind of pale gray hair pulled into a thin braid. She seems to be the one running the place.
You mentioned the streets were pretty quiet. Is it quiet in here too?
Kind of. There aren't many people in here at this time of day, but there are a couple of Chatterkai citizens that are sitting and chatting with one another. More so in a way, it's like they don't want to disturb anyone because they're kind of aware that it's quiet. But like they're talking about their day at work.
I'm just curious about atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can go up to the bar and we were told that she might have rooms available.
I do. You don't look like the types usually that come through, but we absolutely can get you some rooms if you so need. How many will you be needing?
2.
2. Yes, that can be arranged. But this would be 4 silver pieces each for each one.
All right. I will pay that out of the party fund. I'm doing math. 8 silver?
Total of 8 silver.
Okay. I was not doing math right.
A gold and start on breakfast.
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm going to pay her 8 silver. And just thank you. We're obviously we're travelers, but I was wondering, is there a place like a library and archives? We're looking for information on a certain specific beastie.
You would be looking for the Shadowfell Library. It's not far from the marketplace.
Shadowfell Library. It's by the marketplace.
Not terribly far.
Excellent. Would you mind, we were told that the Church of the Raven Queen was a must visit. Is there anywhere else around here that you would recommend?
In the city or in the Shadowfell?
Well, in the city primarily for now, but I suppose in Shadowfell. I know we will be headed westward towards the Howling Mountains.
There is a pharmacy if you have need of potion. If you are in need of how best to put this labor, you will wish to speak to Barakiel in the market. And we are not so much of a place for travelers, tourism. We try to keep ourselves safe. Yeah.
Understandable.
Is there anything else that I can help with? And she, by the way, is the first person that's speaking in common to you guys in the entire city.
Yay. I can understand her.
Are you looking for dishes for food? As well?
I'm sorry, I'm having troubles with the accent. Not that the accent isn't good, I just don't have the brain power for it this morning.
She's asking if you're hungry.
Always.
What do you have on the menu?
The of the house is yam stew. We also have some ale if interested. We can also we have roast mushrooms if you are interested in more of an underdog flavor.
I would be interested in an underdog flavor.
Yeah, sign me up too.
And we have a Shadowfell stew.
Sounds
I'll
amazing.
try the stew.
Okay. So the Shadowshire stew is it's good. It's hearty. There's like chunks of what probably isn't venison, but texturally similar in it. It's got like a strange sort of bioluminescence to it. Like whenever you like dip your spoon into it, like little ripples come off that glow slightly, where disturbed, kind of mushroomy too, and then with some hearty vegetables native to the Shadowfell in it as well. It's a very unique flavor, but not bad at all. And it's like 2 silver purple.
I will pay that out of my personal funds because that is fascinating. Demir actually might talk like cook and shop with the innkeeper, whatever her name is.
Her name is Avaris Kazik.
Avaris. Demir is just like, this is delicious. What is in it? What is this vegetable? This is an interesting looking tuber.
Yeah, she's happy to talk shop with you guys. As I said, she's the only one thus far in the Shadowfell that speaks common. And she's happy to chat with you a little bit about it. She, despite the apparent gloom of the city you find yourself in, she is a good hostess. Knows how to talk to people.
Yeah, Demir's just gonna have a food moment.
All right. Are there any other conversations that would like to be had?
I am tempted because you mentioned that sending can work across planes. But the only two of the two people that I still need to bother, one of them is currently on a camping trip. And the other is actively talking shop with the hostess.
Well, you can pull Demir aside.
That's fair. Okay, cool. Demir gets a Zoda jump scare.
Oh boy.
It's like ascending, entering your head with all the gracefulness of a bull charging through a front door. Just like, holy shit, I forgot. But like those are the first like 5 to 6 words. Holy shit, I forgot.
Holy shit, I forgot. There we go. 4 words.
No, is also one of the words.
Oh,
like sending just actually picks that up.
Holy shit, I forgot. There we go. Like, 5 words.
Other direction, but yeah, just like, holy shit, I forgot. You had 2 other people. That also gets picked up, by the way. Can I have some Tobias concepts?
Demir laughs a minute and just like to the hostess, just 1 moment. Turns and to the sending, just I suppose you're asking for what I think of when I think of Tobias. Oh shit. Fuck. Hold on. Wait. 25 words. God, now I'm in the own trap.
And Jester Labor appears in the campaign.
You are asking for meaning. I think of guardian, an owl bear. Well, owl. A guardian, owl bear.
Owl bear is 1 word.
Owl bear.
2 words or Archer. 1 word? Just to.
Owl bear is 1 word.
Okay, so you're doing owl bear, not owl, comma bear. Got it.
Owl bear.
Do you include the question mark?
I don't think a question mark is its own word.
No, I'm talking about for my notes, not for the word limit.
No, there is no question for owlbear. It's just owlbear.
So, guardian owlbear.
Archer. Kind protector. Brave in the face. Of danger. I lost track. I think I'm at yeah, okay. I think I have 1 more set of 10. Okay, sorry. And I mean, woodsy? Forest. Carver and hunter. I think. And those are my 25 words.
I'm putting 2 question marks after I think because it just has that energy.
I was not prepared to count my words there.
No, it's okay. It's even funnier when you're not. Just like generally.
Yeah, she just has a moment where she kind of stares off into space and turns back to the elf and is like, I'm sorry. Sending.
Completely understand.
Another one slams into your mind.
Oh boy.
Just like, hi, cool, thanks. And what about Levy? She had a lot to say about you.
I mean, Levy, flowers, pink, farmland, trees, and just the rustic earthiness, I guess. The counts. I think of stars and knowledge, books, learning, magic, and pretty songbirds. Just happiness. And those are my 25, I think.
After like about the space that you've probably like seen her frantically like write down things in a spell, which is in the corner, or in her notes, just in the corner of your eye, so you know she's pretty fast about it. She sends them back like, awesome. Hope you guys are doing well. You'll hear about my project soon.
Thank you very much, Zota. We are in the Shadowfell, actually. I hope you and Aldrich are well.
She very briefly considers sending a thing, just like, huh? But she doesn't. Probably back at the Rose Manor or wherever she is right now. If anyone's observing her, they probably see her just sort of like concerningly, like with like a grim 1,000-yard stare, go like, as if to go like, what are they doing over there? Why are they where they are?
We are coming to you from the Shadowfell. We are coming to you from the mountains.
Demir does not get any further messages from Zoda today.
Cool.
Organizing this is really fun. I'm glad you commissioned her to do this.
I knew it was the right pick for sure. Yeah, that was a a moment. Demir will take the moment after the like sending and just like, I should go back to my group. Thank you so much for I'll come back to this conversation. And I'm going to return to the group with my little bowl of stew and just like, so there's a library, there's a market. Where to?
Well, they're right next to each other, aren't they? Or at least close by.
That was what was indicated.
Well, we were already set on getting some information, right? So we could just head there. While we're over there, I guess it wouldn't hurt to see what actually sort of gets traded around here. I'm a little curious.
I wonder if we can find a map.
Maybe.
The library might also have more information, either about the Phoenix itself or maybe even other stuff relating to, I guess, the more bizarre aspects of the material plane.
Knowing how our research sessions usually go, we might find something interesting that we might run into along the way, or something that could be helpful later.
Very much worth investigating. Demir kind of like sighs out the window for a moment, just like, I really wish Levy were here.
All right. So you guys head for the library or the marketplace first?
Business before pleasure.
Fair
Library.
enough.
Okay. So you head to the library, following the directions of the innkeeper. You can see that the library's exterior is massive. It's a looming structure carved from black stone that you're pretty sure if there were any light, it would definitely be absorbed. It has sharp, kind of jagged spires that rise into the sky. And there are the vines of withered, shadow-touched plants that kind of wrap around the outer walls, crawling towards ancient gargoyles perched at various points. And there are statues with kind of hollow eyes that seem to be of elvish figures that almost feel like they are watching, as if imbued with like a grim sentience. And the entrance is marked by an enormous iron door, weathered and covered in cryptic runes, which, as you approach, creaks open as if by themselves.
Well, that isn't ominous at all.
His first open automatic door.
You head inside?
Probably with a little bit of a pause at the self-opening door, but very cautiously sort of just continuing the previous pace in.
All right. You can see that the interior is dimly lit by kind of pale bluish green ghostly flames that float at various points in midair that cast kind of long wavering shadows on the walls. Flames flicker in unusual patterns as though breathing or even potentially responding to the emotions of those nearby. There seem to be endless rows of dark wood bookshelves with that line the towering walls, stretching higher than any normal visitor could probably reach. The wood appears to have been burned in some spots, yet still looks like it exudes like an unnatural strength. Every shelf is filled with ancient, cracked tomes, scrolls of faded vellum, and perhaps even a forbidden text. Occasionally, the books seem to move on their own, shifting positions or disappearing into the shadows between the shelves.
Love moving books. That's horrific.
Sorry, someone please to hold on that book. You can't grab it from the shelf yet. Someone's not available for checkout. Anyway.
There are, if you look closely, little shimmers in the air that have a vaguely humanoid shape. You seem to be gliding silently through the library's aisles, their forms kind of flickering a little bit.
The librarians?
Maybe.
There are ghosts in the library.
They don't quite seem to be ghosts.
We have ghosts at home. Why are you judging?
I'm not judging. I'm just, inquiring.
Racist, ghost racist.
Racist.
I'm not a racist. I'm just curious.
Livingist.
There also seem to be a couple of different sections to library. They are one of the sections is a big archway with in Elvish written in the stone above, called the Hall of Echoes. To another side of the to the library, there is a shut door with, again, written in Elvish on it, says the Ink Pool.
The ink I mean,
I think we need a librarian.
Yeah, I think we need a guide. There aren't any labels on the bookshelves, are there?
Not on the bookshelf, but there are some spines of books that you can look at if you so choose.
Take a peek.
Okay. Once again, mostly in Elvish. There are a couple that seem to be in, to your knowledge, Undercommon, as well as Deep Speech. Looking around, you can see. I'll tell you what, roll an intelligence check to try to figure out kind of the theme of some different shells.
Yeah. Okay. Intelligence? Just straight intelligence?
Yeah.
That's an 18.
18. There seems to be a section, more or less, about the history of lost souls, collections of books detailing the stories of those who have been forgotten or lost to time, preserved by the dark forces of the Shadowfell. There are some necromantic tomes in one section, forbidden knowledge about death, undeath, and the manipulation of souls. There's a section that seems to be more focused on maps and records of portals that lead to and from the Shadowfell. So many of these texts are very cryptic or incomplete. And then there's space thought to be artifacts of shadows, records of cursed objects, lost relics, and powerful items imbued with shadow magic.
Demir will translate for the people who can't speak Elvish. But the maps section, is there any maps of the Howling Mountains? Hollow Mountains? Howling Mountains.
So you start to head towards the Portals of Despair section. And as you're looking around, you kind of get deeper into the library, heading in that direction. There's a sense of oppressive silence that fills the library. You can hear the faint rustling of pages, but it's hard to tell whether the sound comes from the tomes themselves or some sort of unseen entity lurking in the shadows. Occasionally, all of you can hear kind of faint whispers or soft, muffled, sobbing through the hallways. Their sources are never seen.
Sobbing?
And that is where we will call session for the day.
Someone's in the middle of their thesis research, I can tell.
I've never related to a library so much.
Man.
All right.
We'll have to go find a ghost librarian or a guibrarian at some point.
Demir is this close to just starting to sing, so
I need to fill this space.
The silence is freaky. I do not like it.
And then suddenly, 5 ghost librarians pile on her and go, shh. Then disappear as if nothing happened.
It would happen to her.
That would
All
happen.
right.
All right.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah, this is good. This is so peak world building. I love it. It's very, very aesthetically interesting to think about.
Much creep, very wow.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks for playing, guys. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.